Okay, this is a big one. This is on the building of Babylon and how Ra came to power in the midst of the first region of Sumer, and how Sargon of Akkad was appointed as the rightful regent to unite the north and south under the unified city of Akkad, and how he protected the fourth region of Dilmun from the borders of Magan, Egypt. So let's begin. So we know that Ra and Inanna Ishtar, they're adversaries. Inanna comes from Enlil's line, who holds the region of Mesopotamia. Ra is the firstborn son of Enki, lord of the earth, who is lord of Magan and Malaha. These lands here that used to be fertile lands was called Malaha. It was a shepherding city. So kingship is now transferred from Uruk. This was the original place of kingship where it was established in the city of Uruk. But now it's being transferred to Ur. And this Ur is Nanar's region. Nanar is the father of Inanna, Ishtar. See, we have the great ziggurat of Ur and the remains of this ancient city with straight streets, wharves, canals, waterways, but all just desert now, just stone. So in this city, a calendar of 12 months is established. The new year is established on the first day of the spring equinox, and the calendars are built to observe the stars. It is at this time that Ra starts to make claim that the time of his reign, the sign of the ram, is in place, because he sees the constellation of the bull coming to an end. He is aware of the story of Gilgamesh, who comes from the line of Elyon, the son of Utu, how he slays the bull, which is Elyon's sign, lord of Mesopotamia. This is not an auspicious sign of the bull being destroyed. Ra is aware that the sign of the ram, the constellation of the ram, is coming up soon. So he lays claim that the heavens bespeak my glory. And this is what happens. Because of these claims, there is strife occurring in the cities. And the people now have to be taught, or else they're going to be at the sway of Ra and his land of Magan in Egypt. They need to be taught how to observe the skies, to discern, is it true? Is the age of the bull coming to an end? And is the age of the ram about to begin? Because if you're not aware of the stars and time, then you're at the sway of somebody else's time. And this is what is taught. So 3 great leaders are sent forth to initiate this new era of time. You have Ningishida, which is the son of Enki, lord of Magan. You have Ninorta, the firstborn son of Enlil, lord of Mesopotamia. And you have Adad, Indra, who is the lord of the upper region of Mount Ararat. These travel all around the world, establishing sacred calendar sites. Justice, laws, and trade, in the meanwhile, are established in Ur. And these are built. Yeah. Calendars are built, justice, laws are trade is established here. Calendars are established. And see, the cities of men. In the north, in Adad's region of Mount Ararat, this is a place that Ishtar likes to go. She goes and frolics here in the north. Remove this. So, in the north of Ararat, there is the Aryans make this the region under Adad. They have their own language starting to form. This is the beginning of the English language, where Inanna is no longer known as Inanna. She's named after the planet Venus and is given the name Ishtar. Ishkor, lord of this region, in this language, which is the beginning of the English alphabet, is known as Adad, which is when these descendants of the Aryans travel eastward into the Himalayas, he will be known as Indra. Adad Indra. El, the father of Adad and Ishtar, is known as Elyon, the father. So this is established. So in Egypt, Ra wishes to rule alone. Diversity is not permitted. In Sumer, kingship is rotated. As from Uruk to Ur, kingship is transferred. In Magan, Ra wants to be known as the eldest of heaven, the firstborn on earth, the foremost from the earliest times. To himself, he proclaims himself supreme among the gods. The attributes of everyone else he attributes to himself. Of El, he attributes commandship. Of Ninorta, El's firstborn son, he attributes strength and prowess. Of Adad, of Mount Ararat, he attributes the powers of thunder and the wielding of the thunderbolt. Of Nanar, lord of Ur and the Sinai, he attributes the powers of illumination like the moon. Of Utu, lord of Dilmun and this peninsula, he attributes the laws of justice. All of these laws he attributes to himself. And he announces that it is his time, the time of the Ram. So many people near and far, they go to observe the skies. And they're taught. Calendars are built, stone structures like in Stonehenge, etc. These are all built to teach this. And people are a bit worried. So, to protect from this possible threat of Ra seeking to take over this land of Kiangi, Sumer, the land of the lofty watchers, an appointed one, a chosen one, is brought forth, empowered by Elyon, and Ishtar is to choose one who will unite the land, and it happens to be one that she loves, that is, she has met on her journeys. And he becomes known by the name of Sharukin. This is Sargon. And he establishes the city of Akkad, uniting the north of Mount Ararat and the southern regions of Ur into a single city, Akkad, which means the unified city. And Sargon and his emissaries, they're stationed on the borders of Dilmun, on the borders of the first region, to protect the fourth region of Dilmun and to not allow trespasses from Ra's adversaries in the land of Magan, across the King's Highway into Elyon's territory of Mesopotamia. Sargon is to protect this, unified in all of the lands of Sinai, Upper Ararat, Uruk, the Saudi Peninsula. All of these give their allegiance to Sargon. Okay, so this is how Sargon comes to power. Sargon is empowered by Elyon, the Most High, the Lord of the first region of Mesopotamia. See, Ra's forces are in Magan. He sees that this area of Babylon, it should all belong to him. He sees himself as the Lord of the earth, but he hasn't taken over the area yet. He starts making claims. The claims that the time of the bull is coming to an end, because he sees that Gilgamesh, who comes from the line of Elyon, descending from Utu, he has slain the bull. This is not an auspicious sign, but it means that the coming of the bull, or the age of the bull, is coming to an end, followed by the age of the ram. The age of the ram is dedicated to Ra, and it's in this age that he lays claim to his supremacy, that my time, the heavens bespeak my glory, my time is coming. This scares everybody. So they start to flee, and the Elyon's children, Adad, Ishtar, Ningishida, who is the youngest son of Enki, Lord Magan, and Ninurta, they start to build towers, pyramids, and calendrical sites so that they can verify if these claims are true, and to teach mankind how to observe the stars. Because if they do not know how to observe the stars and to measure who is in control of time, then you're going to be under somebody else's time. Ra has already established his own solar calendar in Magan. It is a calendar of 10 months based on the 10 system. It is a solar calendar, a lot different from the calendar that is established in Ur under Nanarsin, which is a lunar solar calendar of 12 months. Currently in Ur, while these calendars are being built, civilization is flourishing. Festivals are established to the great leaders. Temples and cities are built. And these claims start to scare people of Ra saying that it's his time. So, to unite the North and to unite the South, a great leader is chosen by Ishtar. And this is somebody that she loves, somebody that she has beloved, and is known as a great leader who comes from the line of Shem. He is a son of... So, Sargon is the son of Arpachshad, who comes from the line of Noah. He is of one of Shem's sons. His mother, Sargon's mother, is a great priestess in the temple of Ur, in the great ziggurat of Ur, which is the priesthood attributed to the line of Shem, where they serve the great lords, and they serve these great leaders who I'm referring to. And Nana has chosen Sargon, goes by the name of Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan is the chosen one, and a great established city is built, the city of Akkad, which means the unified city to unite the north and the south, which would be present-day Baghdad, the unified city to unite the north and the south. Eventually, Akkad becomes destroyed, and this is due to follies of his grandson Naram Sin causing sacrilege and trespasses against the sacred region. But Akkad is the unified city. All of the lands from the north, from the upper sea of the Black Sea to the Caspian Sea, the Armenian, Georgian, Turkey, Ararat regions, these all pay allegiance to Sargon, and he is situated on the borders of the fourth region from Dilmun to protect from the forces of Ra and Magan. And we have the stage that is set. So now this is where Ra pounces on Sargon like a falcon, where he's known for having the head of a hawk, and pounces on his foe because Sargon, to establish Akkad, kingship has to be established. And the tradition is that a golden object, a golden ark, is brought to each site to signify kingship. So previously when kingship was in Uruk, a golden ark was brought there and buried under the ground. Then it was brought to Ur. The golden object was brought to Ur, but now the kingship lies in Akkad, uniting the north and the south. So the fertile soil that they use, the sacred soil, was soil that belonged to the land of the original Garden of Eden before the flood. And it just so happens that this location belongs in Eridu, which belongs to the father of Ra, and it's built over the ancient mounds of the Garden of Eden. And Sargon, he takes this soil and he plants it into Akkad to consecrate the golden object to establish kingship. Ra keeps an eye on this and he's aware of it. He is furiated and he pounces on his enemy. And he establishes, he says, kingship belongs to me. That soil belongs to me. This isn't my land. And he's furious. He situates himself in the middle of the first region. And bloodshed starts to occur. Bloodshed between him and Sargon's army. Sargon is powered by Elyon, and Sargon's army, his weapons are empowered by Ishtar. And Ra and Ishtar, they're adversaries. They hate each other because they blame each other for the death of Dumuzi, which was Ishtar's beloved and Ra's younger brother. Ishtar loved Dumuzi, and through some catastrophe, Dumuzi dies. He falls. Ishtar blames Ra. Ra blames her, and they weren't able to forgive each other ever since. They blame each other, and they're enemies. So, this is sacrilege here. People are fighting. Sargon's enemies are situated at the border to protect, but now Ra is situated in the middle of the first region and they're fighting. He's asked to leave, and he's situated in the north, and he waits. Now, in this region of peace, the Inanna travels to the upper regions of Ararat, where her brother Adad rules as Indra, and he rules the Lebanon, the Baalbek Peninsula. But Ra's regions are over here, and he's building up an army of the Hittites. In this region, Inanna is no longer known as Inanna, she's known as Ishtar. Ishkor, the Lord, is no longer known as Ishkor. He's known as Adad. In the new language, the beginning of the alphabet, Enlil, the Father, is no longer known as Enlil, but is called Elyon, the Most High. Utu, Lord of the Sinai. He's no longer called Utu, he's called Shamash, the Shining One. And Nanar, Lord of the Moon, is not called Nanar, but is called Sin, the Lord of Oracles. And this is now a time of peace that sets the stage. Sargon has two successors, two sons, and it's a time of peace. The third son, Naram-Sin. This is the grandson of Sargon. He sees that there's an opportunity to seize all the lands. And he's empowered by Ishtar. Ishtar's father, Elyon, is away in the Americas, establishing mining facilities and operations in southern America, in the area of Peru, in the Chileans. This is where we get Lake Titicaca and many of these sacred sites and old remnants here. They're establishing facilities, and you remember the Easter Islands are right off the border here. Ra is away traveling, and he's known in the faraway lands as Amun, the unseen. Okay. This is a time where Inanna sees everybody away traveling and out of their dominions. So she powers Naram-Sin, the grandson of Sargon, to overtake Magan and Malaha. She sends Naram-Sin through the sacred region of the Sinai Peninsula, which was not meant for humankind to cross. It's a forbidden region. It's only for the Watchers only, the lofty ones. But she sends Naram-Sin and his army cross from the first region into the fourth region, into the land of Magan, the second region. And he enters into the Great Pyramids. And he overtakes the land. And this is Malaha. This was all Dumuzi's land. Inanna's beloved. She wants all of this because it's remnants of her beloved that she believes that she is entitled to because he was to be her husband and she was to be his spouse. So empowered by that, she sends Naram-Sin to conquer the land. Elyon, when he finds out he's the father of Ishtar, he's furious because no one is meant to enter into Dilmun, the sacred region. And out of fury, he curses Naram-Sin. And he destroys Akkad, the unified city. It will not have sacrileges in this region. And this is the destruction of Akkad. And it will set the stage for the next chapter in Earth history. What comes next is setting the stage for a great catastrophe. Now, the age of the bull is coming to an end, as prophesied. The age of the ram is on the cusp. And it's a very interesting time. And the past reveals the future.